let's see if we can find something for Agya Chakra, Chandrakant. With Christmas approaching, we need
Yeah.
to start spending some time understanding the relevance of Agya Chakra in our
Okay.
own our growth. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining again. Sharing what uh, we have been learning, what we have been observing, and how normal day-to-day life and affects us and improves through the help of Sahaj Yoga. And I cautiously use this word through the help of Sahaj Yoga because sometimes we become over dependent, sometimes we become over expecting. And I'll give you some real life examples, and I'm not shy of sharing them because these are facts you should know. So now in my own family, literally everyone practices Sahaj Yoga. So my 9-year-old daughter, who's been practicing since her birth, I mean, since, we started practicing with her when she was very young, but then she has been foot soaking since almost she was 2 and 3. My mother, my sister, her family, my wife, everyone practices. But my mother, during this lockdown, she like everyone, like older people, she was scared to go out, even though she got double vaccinated, and she literally was confined to the household for literally like what about 2 years now. Now, the lifestyle remained the same. The food and the dietary habits pretty much remained the same. When there is not so much of physical movement, we need to understand that that same amount of diet that we consume in a busy life is not what we should be having, and when we are not so active. But nevertheless, she continued to some moderation. But again, hoping that she's meditating, she's foot soaking, she's doing all her clearances, and suddenly we found that her BP has, she was developing some signs of high blood pressure and diabetes, and we checked, and her BP was literally very very high. Means the high to the extent that we had to rush her to a doctor, and also, her sugar was is very high. This is all I'm talking about 2 days back. We've been through this, and at the same time, while we were going through this, many Sahajogis believe, or many people who practice meditation, they believe, everything will work out, everything will get cured by Kundalini alone. We'll be fit and fine. We don't have to do exercises. We can eat whatever we want, and everything will get taken care by Kundalini as long as we are meditating, as long as we are doing proper clearances. All is good. Yes and no. So, and that's where I was. Srimataji has a unique ways of communicating with us. She communicates us through multiple channels. You just have to be observant. So while this was all going on, I usually play like about 10 minutes of talk while I'm driving to work every morning in my car using Bluetooth. And I came across a talk, and this talk is not. I don't pick and choose the talk. I mean, since I listen to talks on YouTube every day, by auto suggestion of YouTube, it keeps suggesting more and more talks to me. And the first talk that comes on top of the list, I usually play that. That's how I've been doing all my days. I don't apply my brain. I just say that whatever is relevant to me, please come to me. Please let me know. So I just picked up a thought, and that talk was about cooperating with Kundalini. How you need to cooperate with Kundalini. So while Kundalini rises, while Kundalini is doing all the massive effort of clearing us, cleansing us, we just can't continue our existing ways and hope, Kundalini will keep fixing it. It's like you're trying to clean a house with few naughty children in it. So every time you clean, one of the naughty children throws something, maybe like some cereals, or throw some paint, or throw some toys. You clean it again and they throw it again. You clean it again and they throw it again. They again keep spoiling it. How long are you going to have a patience? Means, of course, Kundalini has infinite patience. In normal cases, like a mother or father like us, we would, yell, shout, scold them, give them a kind of an earful, some sort of mild punishment, and and make them know that they should not be doing it. But it's very frustrating. Like it is frustrating for us, it also becomes frustrating for Kundalini. Not in the exact frustration way, but she's also tired of us keep doing the same thing and then expecting Kundalini will fix everything. So that's where our growth stalls. That's where we start to see people who have been meditating they start falling sick, they start having physical problems, they start going through other problems in life on professional and personal basis, because they can't give up their certain old habits while they are meditating, while they are practicing Sahaja Yoga, they're going to center, doing all the protocols. They still cannot give up some of their old habits and old conditions, and not cooperate with the Kundalini to take us to the next level. And that's why you see the physical wellness. We see usually I've seen, and about 80-90% people who meditate, they are not so careful about the physical part of it. I hardly see them going out for a walk. Very few do. I hardly see them controlling what they eat, either it's foodies or fried whatever, or extreme amount of sweets, just taking in everything that we should be peaceful inside, and we should keep eating whatever we're eating, and let Kundalini work. It is all fine. But what is the importance of, so we also want people who are practicing meditation, they should look good when they go out in public. They should be not just pleasant to talk to, but they should be pleasant to look to. They should be nicely dressed, hair should be nicely combed, they should be wearing proper attire, they should be dressed appropriately as per the occasion, they should carry themselves well. Besides whatever you're feeling outside, your projection outside is what the world sees you, and when the world sees you, you are representative of Sahaja Yoga, you are representative of all that we believe in. So until it projects on a physical level also, surface level also, is not going to lead an impact. So what I'm trying to get to is, like food, like exercise, which is very important for us to keep fit. We have to eat, we have to understand the nutrients that we eat. In India, the diet of Indians is hugely carbohydrates, huge amount of carbohydrates. Every meal is carbs, very less protein. That's why you see muscle failure, muscle problems, joint problems, so many problems that come into regular Indians. In Sahaja Yogis, we also have seen that obesity of, the storage of excess fat is very, very high. Because physical movement is very less. So importance to exercise, important to diet is very important while we continue to do this. Because the more you cooperate with your Kundalini, in a fitter body, in a body which is eating the right amount of nutrients, in a body which is doing proper physical exercise, the detoxification effect of Kundalini, you are actually helping Kundalini to act better and faster on you. It's not just about the food, but the most important thing is what we ingest. What we ingest, not just through our mouth, but the most important chakra is through our eyes, ear, and nose. So especially eyes and the ear, what we see, what we listen is very, very important. And as I've heard, like on the Agya chakra resides Jesus Christ. That manifestation of Jesus Christ is on your Agya chakra. So like Jesus Christ's birth was in an extremely cold time of the year. He was literally born in a very small hutment in minimal clothing, minimum things to protect himself. Yeah, he was raised in a very frugal way, a very minimalistic way, not devoid of any luxury, devoid of any ego, devoid of any paraphernalias and flatulence of the life. He lived life in very simple ways. And now the most important lessons of Christianity, most important lesson, a lesson of from Christ is, thou shall not have adulterous eyes. Thou shall not have eyes which are full of lust. What we see, it's not about looking at other men and women, but also what we see on television. Now, thanks to Netflix and Prime and so many other channels out there, they're throwing all kinds of unedited content, uncontrolled, uh, you know, adult content on television, and there is no restriction. There's no restriction. You can literally get to see the worst kind of things, violence, whatever, nudity. It's extreme. That's where our own judgment comes in. What kind of, for example, uh, Big Boss, it's a very popular TV series in India. Means if you see people, means I know many people actually wait for every episode throughout the day. But if you just watch one of the episode, and if you're really a patient person inside, you'll not be able to relate to it. You'll actually get frustrated because it's just talking about cribbing, people fighting, screaming, shouting. What kind of entertainment is that? It's very hard to relate. So what you feed your eyes, what you feed your ears, and if you're feeding the wrong thing, if you're looking at wrong stuff, if you're saying the wrong things, if you are dominating through ego, if you're being sublime through superego, either you're cursing, either you are getting angry, you're screaming, shouting, you're listening to the wrong things, you're listening to wrong kinds of music, the punk rock and stuff, you're watching all kinds of contents which it may not be good, you know it is not good, but you're still watching because you know that's kind of the become the thing of enjoyment these days. All these things are like the crown of thorns that you're putting on the head of Christ inside you. The Christ is alive inside you. Means Christ never died, but Christ is alive inside of us. He's sitting at the Agya Chakra. So what you feed from your eyes and your ears, either you're feeding soothing stuff, you're giving him comfort. If you're feeding him the wrong stuff, you are giving him discomfort, and literally putting a crown of thorns on his head, giving him pain. And this always results back to us. People with poor eyesight, people with poor say listening problems, people with poor judgment, people with poor very lack of wisdom, people with lack of discretion, can't take decisions on even small things, people who constantly have migraine, people who suffer through any kind of renal diseases, eye diseases. All these things are because of poor agya. And this time, and the most important aspect are two things: what you see and what you hold. For example, if you are holding some grudge against someone, that's again a thorn. That grudge, that anger, that pain is a grudge or a thorn inside you. So same thorn goes and resides again like pain to the Christ inside you. And that results in several problems that we have. So forgiveness and you know and being very firm in terms of what not to do, what's the right thing to watch, what's the right thing to hear, what's the right thing to say, and not to hold any grudge, be forgiving, is how you can comfort the Christ inside you. I'm saying this because we are approaching Christmas. Relevance of Christ in our evolution is very, very important. But overall, yeah, proper diet, proper exercise, proper behavior, proper way of dressing, proper way of speaking with people. And again, we get caught up into this person is practicing Sahaj Yoga, so I'll talk to him or her. This person is not practicing Sahaj Yoga, so he's a non-Sahaj Yogi. I'll not eat at his house. I'll not make friends with him. This is how we are restricting ourselves to becoming lesser and lesser. We are here to solve world's problem. We have to watch the news, we have to put our attention on the news. If you are American, if you are Indian, only America or India is not a problem. The world problems are our problems, so you have to look beyond. So all the ways that you can grow as a person, or you control your past conditioning and habits as a person, the more you are helping your kundalini to rise, and you more you are helping kundalini to work. So while winter is approaching, while I've just gone through a physical situation, a medical situation in my house, I strongly request you, please take care of what you eat, what you dress, what you talk, physical fitness, because all this will help your kundalini to act much, much faster on you. So with that, Chandrakant, I'll pass it back to you. Just wanted to share, as I've been going through this in my family.
Thank you, Nishil bhai. Now what we are going to do is we'll do a little meditation, and then we will going to listen the Agya Chakra talk. So today's session is all about Agya Chakra. So we are going to listen the Agya Chakra talk. So now we'll start the way we generally do meditation at home. So let's take a bandhan first. So I request you all participants, let's take a bandhan first. So we will take together. So just give me 1 minute. So first, let's take a collective bandhan, the way it is shown in this video. So let's take a bandhan.
It's very important. and how to raise your Kundalini. It's very important, very simple. He will show you also. Put your left hand like this in front of you. And
We all can do
the
together.
left hand goes straight. So you have to, I'll just show you first of all like this. It goes up onto your head, and here you give it one knot. Now, again we start now properly. We start it from here. Now start moving your left hand upward. For fixing up your Kundalini, put your hand up and give it one knot. Then again the second one. Give it the second knot. Third knot you have to give 3 times. Now again do it, please. One, two, and 3. Done. Now the kavach. You have to take for your protection every morning. When you go out and before sleeping, you should put your attention here and sleep off. Put the left hand towards me like this. It is 3.5 coils. So how do you give kavach? Put left hand towards me, towards the photograph. Put the right hand like this. I'll show you first of all. Then raise it like this. Bring it down. This is half. Then again, you take it back. This is 1. Again, you take it up. Is again you take it back. Is 2. Again, you take it like this. Again, you bring it back. Is 3. And now you take it back only halfway, so 3.5 times. This is bandhan.
So just now we have taken a bandhan. Now we are going in a meditation. So make sure that your spinal cord should be upright and straight. Both the hand on your lap. Palm is opening toward the sky. If you are sitting on a chair, make sure that you are not wearing any slipper or shoes. If you are wearing any slipper, please remove it. Sit comfortably on a ground or chair, whichever is comfortable to you. Now watch your screen, maybe laptop or mobile screen. Just concentrate on your screen and slowly close your eyes. धीरे धीरे हम अपनी आंखें बंद करेंगे. Let's slowly close our eyes. With the closed eyes, we are going to watch our thoughts. बंद आंखों से हम अपने विचारों को देखेंगे. इसमें उलझना नहीं है, इसे देखना है. Let's observe our thoughts with the closed eyes. Observe the feeling or flow of energy in both of our hand and top of our head. हमें अपने दोनों हाथों की हथेलियों पे और सर के ऊपर महसूस करना है कि हमें क्या फील हो रहा है. Let's experience it. Now we are going to balance our left side. So left hand on our lap and right hand on Mother Earth. Here we will take a prayer in our heart. Mother, please clear my left side. श्री माता जी, मेरी ईड़ा नाड़ी को शुद्ध कर दीजिए। We may feel the flow of energy in both of our palms. Let's enjoy and experience this flow. Now slowly take our right hand back to our lap and raise our left hand toward the sky, bending from the elbow. Here we will pray, Mother, please balance my right side. श्री माता जी, कृपा करके मेरे पिंगला नाड़ी में संतुलन प्रदान कीजिए। Let's feel the energy in both of our palm and top of our head. यह एक आनंददायी क्षण है जिसे हमें महसूस करना है। Now slowly take our both the hand back to our lap. दोनों हाथ गोद में लेना है। Let's do the meditation, silent meditation for few minutes. Don't do any movement in your body. हमें शरीर में अब कोई भी हलचल नहीं करना है। Let's experience the flow. हमें अपने सर के ऊपर तालु भाग पे महसूस करना है कि हमें कुछ ठंडा या गर्म एहसास हो रहा है या नहीं। दोनों हाथों की हथेलियों पे देखना है कि हमें क्या महसूस हो रहा है। Let's experience the flow of energy. Now we are going to listen one talk of Shrimata ji. So you can listen this by opening our eyes or by keeping our eyes closed, whichever is comfortable to you.
Now, one thing is there obstructing Sahasrara is the movement of your agya into thoughts. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that stops your entry into Sahaja. Thoughts are coming all the time. Because a human being is born who reacts to everything. React to this and react to that, and the thoughts come in and thoughts go. There's a big crowd of thoughts. Because of that, your attention cannot cross over Agya and can reside in the Sastra. So first of all, one should see what sort of thoughts are coming. You have to condemn yourself sometimes. You have to say, what nonsense, what have I been doing? What's the matter with me? How could I do all that? Once you start doing that, these thoughts will start disappearing. These thoughts are coming from two angles, one from the ego and another from your conditionings. And these are so much built up within you that they don't allow your agya to be crossed. That's why we have two bija mantras of Amuksham. First one is, when it is conditioning, you are endowed with this kind of a fear. I shouldn't do like this, I shouldn't do like that, is not allowed, that is not allowed. That's the conditioning part of it. Conditioning can be of many types. But the ego part of it is that I must overpower everybody, I must get this, I must be able to rule everyone. These two things are there in the mind, which are all the time crossing. So it's important that we should go into thoughtless awareness. And that thoughtless awareness is the real way that your Sahasrara can be nourished by the Kundalini. Because Kundalini cannot go through, cannot pass through. And for that, as I said, there are two bija mantras. One is Ham, another Ksham. So if you are conditioned, you are frightened, you are afraid, and you had ideas about yourself. These days, the way people are describing, they'll say, I'm an extrovert. Somebody will say, I'm an introvert. Somebody will say, I'm a hippie, I'm that. All kinds of things they can have attributed to themselves. But these ideas are all coming from outside. They are not from inside. To get to the inner side of yourself, the subtler side of your being, you must allow the Kundalini to go through the Agya. To cross the Agya is a very important thing in modern times. And for that, you have to meditate. If you can meditate with complete faith in yourself, this Agya can be opened up with surrendering to the Divine. You have to surrender yourself to the Divine. And when this Agya opens, you'll be amazed. Your Sahasrara is just waiting to transfer, to give you all the help that you need through the all-pervading power. Your connection of Sahasrara with the all-pervading power is established. And by that, you will be amazed how all these 7 chakras work for you, how they help you, how they try to give you whatever is the real knowledge about everything. This real knowledge that you get is very joy-giving. You can see this real knowledge in everything. You don't have to start reading any book about it. In every situation and in every person, in every flower, in every natural happening, you see clearly the hand of the Divine. Once you see the hand of the Divine, your ego starts disappearing. Once you say that it's you do everything. Kabira has said, something great about this. He said that when the goat is alive, it goes on saying, I am, I am. But when it is slaughtered and its intestines are made into strings which are used for cleaning the cotton, then it said, tu hi, you are. See, in this symbolic way, they have suggested that you have to become dissolved into this divine power. It's the divine power that does everything. What am I? I was just a drop, and I fell into this ocean of awareness of the divine power. And that is taking over and working it out. That will help you a lot to be a great surgeon. You develop curing powers, but still you are not proud of it. You developed, of course, awakening powers, you are not proud of it. You develop so many creative powers and you are not proud of it. You become really very, very creative, extremely creative. But the greatest thing happened to you that you become a global personality. So you start seeing the problem of every country, of every other nation where they have problems. But these problems, when you see, you don't see like other people, because others may like to use it for their own purpose, maybe for media, maybe for something. What you want to see is that these problems are solved. See, your powers are so great with this kind of a mind, I would say, which is dominated completely by the divine power, that whatever disturbs you immediately is taken over and it starts working out. Many, many problems have been solved by surgery. And also they can be solved on a very universal level if you are a global person. If you are a global person, then what happens is that you become a sort of a vehicle, or you can become like a channel for this divine power to act, because you are purely a global personality. Not attached to this, attached to that, but a pure Sahaja personality, which can be used by this divine power very easily. For that, as I told in the afternoon also, that we have to be careful about few things that we have. Firstly, anger. Anger is the worst thing that we have. Angry for what? There are people who talk like this. I was very angry. They're proud of their anger. Anger is a sign of complete stupidity, absolute stupidity. There's no need to get angry with anyone, because by anger you don't solve the problem. With anger you spoil yourself. With anger you ruin your own nature. With anger you really spoil the whole situation. So no use having any anger about anything. But if anything happens that angers you, you should settle down and see for yourself, why is it wrong? Why is it disturbing you? Your seeing itself will help this problem to be solved. You must first of all realize that you are a special personality, that your Sahasrara has been opened out to this all divine power, as if you are entered into the realm of divinity. You are great guests in that great court of divine domain. You are not an ordinary person. And so once you understand why you have Sahaja Yoga and why you have got realization, is that there's something special. But that should not give you any ego. It's not for ego that you have to have this, but it's for understanding that you have to play into the hands of the divine. This play is something I could explain like this, that if you are supposing an artist, then in the hand of the artist is the brush, and the brush never thinks that it is doing anything. It's the artist who is doing everything. In the same way, when you are one with the divine power, you just feel, I'm not doing anything. It's the artist who is doing. It's the artist who is managing. And who is the artist? Is this divine power which loves you, which cares for you, which looks after you, which absolutely is identified with you.
Now this is the Agya talk. Now let's do one experiment, short experiment. And I request you all participant, if you can open your eyes and open your camera for 1 or 2 minutes, that will be great. So we can interact with each other. And let's do one experiment. Raise your right hand on top of your head like this and see if you can able to feel that energy. So Suresh sir, thank you very much. I request you all other participant, if you can switch on your camera just for 1 or 2 minutes, it will be great. So do like this, move little up, down, see if you can able to feel that energy. So thank you, Jenny ma'am. Yes, we can able to feel that energy. So see if you can able to feel that energy. Take your right hand back to your lap, try again with the left hand. So all other people, yeah, thank you, Jitendra sir, we can able to see you. Yes, feel that energy. If you can feel, it's a very minute energy. Now take your left hand back to your lap, again try with the right hand. Did you feel some kind of energy? Okay, so Jenny ma'am is feeling, Suresh sir is also feeling. What about Jitendra sir? Did you feel some energy? Okay, wow, that is great. So I don't know about others. Okay, Annie also feeling cool, so that is very good. Now take your both the hand back to your lap. Thank you for switching on the camera. Now we'll take a few question answer as usual at the end. So if you have any question, you can unmute your mic and you can ask the question, or you can put on chat. So Divya is also feeling, ma'am, oh, very good. So you also feel like cool or hot breeze. You can explain what did you feel, or on which finger you feel, because each finger has a different meaning. So that is very important. So whatever question you have now, please raise. We have an expert here, so they will going to explain you the correct answer. So please go through it and raise your question. So yeah, Jenny ma'am, please go ahead, ma'am.
Hiya. Thank you for another great session. But my question is about the Bandhan. And I may not have the verbiage right, but I know we raise the Kundalini and then we do the where we're strengthening our aura, right? I don't remember what we call this. The Kavach?
Yeah, it's called as Bandhan or Kavach.
Okay. So can you do that if you're in a public place? Can you just do that with intention, like in your mind, if there's like negativity surrounding you? I mean, because like in my office, for instance, if people come in and we've had a really negative meeting or something, and there's been a lot of negative energy in there, then I would like to clear that space out and clear myself. But like, I can't really sit with other people around me and do that, right? And so can I do that in my mind with intention and get the same benefit? That's my question.
Okay. Chandrakant, let me take that up. Okay.
Yes.
So Janine, excellent question. Our workplaces and literally every place that we go out is full of all kinds of people, some toxic, some encouraging. But if we do the physical act, so what we did at the start of this, raising the Kundalini and taking protection. Bandhan means a cover. Bandhan means like protection. Bandhan means shield. So it's like a shield, virtual shield that actually protects you uh, from any kind of negative in-person subtle attack or in-person or subtle attacks. Now, usually these are taken where before you leave home. And I know, and I've been to a situation where, office environment or things get out of hand, and we want ourselves to go back to our zone, and you be calm and repel all kind of attention coming us on, all kind of negativity coming to us. Now, the whole physical process of raising the Kundalini and taking the shield, taking the bandhan, is would look a little awkward in an office setting unless you have a closed cabin or where nobody can see you. Otherwise, we don't want people to look at us with curious eyes that we're doing some kind of mojo. But you can also raise your Kundalini through your attention. So you can just close your eyes wherever you are. Just sit silently, close your eyes, open your palms, and with your attention, just take your attention to the Kundalini. And we can do it right now. Just close your eyes, take your attention to the Kundalini, the bone that's touching where you're sitting. Just take it there and raise it through the central nervous system. Raise your attention from lower part of the body till top of your head, through the central nervous system, through your spine. So raise your attention so that your attention rises through your central nervous system and your spine till the top of your head. Do it 3 times or 4 times until you start to feel relaxed. That raising the Kundalini, and in your heart, do that whole kavach, do the whole protection, left hand to right hand without moving the hand. You can do all this with your attention. Now, it's an entirely a game of attention. We have seen people who take bandhan and kavach while they're talking, chit-chatting, looking left and right. It doesn't work. It's just your attention, and without involving physical movement also in a public setting, you could take your bandhan, raise your Kundalini and take bandhan just through your attention. So do that, raise your Kundalini through your attention, raise your energy, raise your attention from your Kundalini through your central nervous system, spine, all the way top of your head. Do it 3 or 4 times. And also on the chair which you're sitting, another way to ground yourself from negative thoughts and attention is just feel that your Kundalini is expanding. Just feel your Kundalini expanding through the chair on which you're sitting, into the floor, into the building, into the area that surrounds the building, into the city, into the state, into the country, into the earth, and go deep inside the core of your earth with your attention. You can just feel it. Take your attention down. Take your attention down. Let through your Kundalini, which is in indirect contact with earth, let it spread downwards and go deep inside earth. Try and touch the core of the earth. That's how you can expand your Kundalini. Same thing you can do with your heart. You keep your attention on your heart. Believe that there is a little flicker of light in your heart. Let that light grow slowly. First, fill up your entire chest, fill up your entire body, fill up entire room that you're in, fill up entire house, fill up entire neighborhood, fill up entire city, fill up entire state, fill up entire country, fill up entire earth, fill up entire universe, fill up universes of universe. With your attention, you can do all this. And this is so pleasing and clearing, right? Expand your energy. Let yourself become part of the cosmos, because your energy is part of the cosmos. And do this all with your attention. Sahaj Yoga is nothing but attention. You could do all the protocols and not have attention, and you could do none of the physical movement and have the attention. It works better the latter way. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we have 2 more questions. One is from Annie and one is from Mr. Yoga. So I request you, Annie ma'am, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. May I know, I want to ask about a few minutes teaching about the Agya chakra. For example, is it if we do looks something, for example, the news, others thing not good, will make our Agya chakra like stuck, is it? So, for example, if for adults or children's, we allow them to look see some out of the natural things, or it's better teaching them for keep look see the more good things. For example, news. Because all days when the people open the TV can see the news, is it? But me, I never look see. So what we can do for improve more better the Agya chakra is not only pray or cleansing, but